Pusha P.
Pusha P.
How much the rapper change? This right here.
Here's the lot.
Right here, this.
Here's the lot. Yeah.
You ask my jeweler.
Yeah.
Pointers in the paddock in my piece. I'm Pusha P. Cop new hammers for my piece. We don't want no peace. Got a spot across the spot. Just for peace. Drop the data, now we plotting. Inside the peace. She not a lesbian for peace. She turned lesbian. Pusha P. I'm Pusha P. On capital P, I write the president, count presidents. Pusha P. Portuguese on her knees, mopping down a P. She let me squeeze and she leave, cause she keep a P. Private suite, privacy, bitch, I'm pushing P. Purple paint, pussy pink, bitch, I'm pushing P.
We ain't at P, man. Man, we ain't over here at P. I took our P long for this shit.
Pusha P, I'm pushing P. Pusha P, I'm pushing P. Yeah. Pusha P, I'm pushing P. Pusha P, I'm pushing P. Yeah. I'm popping P, I'm paranoid. I keep sleep with pockets deep. Got rest on me, why they watching me? I'm pushing P, I'm pushing P. Pusha P, I'm pushing P. Yeah. Touch it, okay, bought a P, not a pill of Porsche. I'm pushing P.
Yes. As y'all know, that song was actually Gunna and Future. And we got the rights to play that today. Cause I know how, YouTube be sometimes flagging. But
we got permission.
Exactly. So we here, it's another episode. You already know what it is. Stella, Steph show. Another thing, Stella, you know what I'm saying? Hit us up when you ready and you got everything together. You know what I'm saying? We love you over here. And we're going to keep shit rocking. And we got our special guests in the building. Y'all see me promoting and advertising them all week, letting y'all know what it really is. And we're going to talk about all of that today. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to get label people in the building to speak on a lot of different things that's going on in the industry from the past till now. So I have actually someone in the building that was like right in the mix, crazy, running shit over at Rough Riders. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to make some noise for ameliaismore. You know what I mean? And now we got the younger generation in the building too. Yeah. And he's coming straight out of Baltimore via Jersey. And he's from 300 Entertainment. Y'all know what that is. That's actually the song we just opened the show with. He Gunna is on 300 Entertainment. So make some noise for bemorekev. All right?
We here.
So I'm excited to have y'all in the building, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really would like to say, what's the first thing that I want to say to y'all is, what do y'all think the music game is right now? Because you probably remember, you know what I'm saying, when you was younger, how it was when, damn, my shit don't want to flip over. There we go. When it was, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
23.
You're 23. So there's a lot of things that you don't remember and don't know. So let's get your take on it actually first, because the ladies is always first, but I'm right now, you're a veteran in the game, so I want to hear his take on the game now. And you know what I'm saying? So how do you go about searching for talent? And you do radio and you do promo up there at 300 in. So what's your take on the game now, and how do you go about like promoting and marketing these artists? Like, what are the strategies now? Because I know me and Amelia, we know how it was. So tell us how you move.
Oh, I know how it is now.
Yes, you do, but I'm saying you don't remember how it was with the street teams in the street and the posters all over the street. It's different now. So I want to know, what is it like for you to be an A&R and do promo and radio? Like, what's your average day on a job?
I've been interning at 300 for like a while, so I was able to be in the room and see how things was going on, kind of like a fly on the wall, and like be able to do my work. So after college, and this was during college. So after college, I got out of college, and there was still some time where I was interning. I wasn't fully hired. So once I got fully hired, I got to like actually be, in the system and stuff like that. But I would really say the biggest thing is like building relationships and, not forgetting about like if you find an artist that you like or you see something in it, don't just think, because they got this amount right now that in 6 months they can't have 1 million, because it could go from 6 months and then they go from 1 million to from like zero views. You know what I mean? So like always keeping like a tab, like people like in the industry say like a Rolodex. So if I find an artist and his name is Lil Jon and he got like 20 views, but I like it, but it don't got a lot of views, like always keep an eye on it. You know what I mean? Don't just throw it away. Don't just think, on to the next one. Like go back in 2 weeks and check up on it, because that could be the one that is picking up, but you just caught it at the wrong time. You know what I mean? So those two things, like timing and building relationships, are like two big things that I'm learning. Like it's not always that right time. You gotta like work your way to the right time, because everybody's time isn't like at right now.
Right.
Somebody else's time might be, and then you gotta find your way to it's your time.
So what school did you go to for you to be interning over there?
I went to University of Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so make some noise for Maryland.
Sure.
Maryland, Baltimore, it's all in.
No, University of Maryland College Park. So it's like actually in D.C. by D.C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you in that D.C. scene, like that's Howard and all of that over there, right?
I was around there, like S.TREET, Howard, Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
A couple other schools, but yeah. It was
And how long you was in school for?
I was in school all 4 years.
All 4
I
years.
went to Coastal Carolina, then I transferred back home, which is in South Carolina.
What was you majoring in?
Economics.
Okay, so you was about making money and businesses and stuff
math,
like that.
A lot of numbers, a lot of math.
Yo, I ain't gonna front. That's exactly what I feel that we should be teaching our children. Economics. They teach a whole bunch. First of all, we've been getting taught fake history for the longest. Like some of the shit that's been going on, they ain't really been telling us the truth. You had to figure it out on your own. But nowadays, the way the whole technology thing is and how you can make money with the currencies and all of this stuff, I think children need to learn economics in school. You know what I'm saying? Word up. And that's how I feel. And that's what I was teaching the Hoffs. You know what I'm saying? When my sons, they was rapping and I was promoting them and everything like that. But I mainly was teaching them the business aspect of it. And I would pay them after shows, and I would pay them on step mobile cards and show them like this is how you monitor money, and you use your debit card and this and that, and you know what I'm saying, interest rates and different things of that sort. And they knew, like my youngest 9-year-old, Hall 4, he would always tell me, he was like, Dad, I gotta do this many shows to make this amount so I could buy this. Like he already had it down pat, like, you know what I mean? But they retired, they don't want to rap no more, they into other things. Kids will switch up whenever and shit like
That's
that. But
good. They need to find their passion.
yes. But yo, Kev, it's like with you and being so young in the club, when Shampoo introduced me to you, I was like, damn, I'm like, he's a young ass A&R, you know, because when you think of A&Rs, you think of the people that are older, they've been around and stuff like that. But it's like the same thing people think that about pilots. They want an older pilot because he's more experienced and stuff like that. But the younger dudes is just coming out fresh. They know what's popping.
Right. You gotta start somewhere.
Right.
Well, I mean, I honestly think that the combination between the young energy and the veteran energy is key to really finding the source of what the new trends are. Right. Because sometimes, there might be something that's trending, but as a veteran, this is going to come and go. Right. Only because of the components of it. And sometimes, as a veteran, you don't pay attention to something, and the youngin is knocking on your door like, yo, you got to pay attention to this. Yeah. Right. And so that combination, I feel, is really key, especially in today's market. Because today's market is anybody's game.
Right.
I think that that's the biggest difference. You know what I mean? Like I look at the cycles of music. Like I'm a musicologist, right? So when you think about when black music really popped off, it was the 60s.
Right.
With all the independent records. That's where we're at now.
Okay.
We went from the 60s to the 70s where it was like a whole funk era where you really had to know that groove to get that guap. Right. You had the real pop stuff and then you had the real ghetto stuff. You know what I mean? That funk. And then from there, you went into the 80s, which was like the whole bust of the hip hop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This oppressive music, the people's music. You know what I mean? Your experience and everything else. And then
a lot of rap, the early rap that was rapping about the oppressive part of coming through that whole 60s and 70s
but it was more
era.
poetry,
But it was more
poetry than
It was
flow.
oppressive music, but it wasn't oppressive music at the same time.
Yeah,
you know
but the difference
it brought so much joy.
Yeah, but the difference with hip hop when it first started, it was a release. Like we talk about that all the time. When you went to a party, you weren't going to post. You was going to party.
Right.
Like if you wasn't sweating, if your shirt was not wet, you was faking jacks. Like straight up. Like
She said
what you
faking
here
jacks.
for? You know what I mean? Because we went to get away from everything. You know what I mean? Them basement parties was real.
Right.
Them yard parties was real.
Oh, I'm glad you
know?
brought that up because
And I wasn't even here in New York at that time, so that just goes to show you. I was in Massachusetts,
Right.
and that goes to show you how much it was already spreading like wildfire.
so you're originally from Massachusetts?
No, I'm a New Yorker.
Oh,
born.
okay. Where
My
you
father,
from?
my father's from. Yeah, no, I was born in Queens. I was
Okay,
born-
Queens.
Queens girl, but
Yeah,
I'm
that's
really
what's up.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, but
Don't
that's-
get it twisted.
So basically, you was born in Brooklyn, right? And
No,
grew-
my mom was raised in Brooklyn.
Right.
They moved me to Queens. That's where I was conceived, in
Right.
Queens. And
Okay.
then when I became school age, my father was like, no, you need to get education in Massachusetts. Because at that time, Massachusetts education was really big.
So where
So
your
it's like-
Brooklyn at in there? Where's your Brooklyn at?
Well, as soon as I graduated, I came back to Brooklyn because that's
Okay.
where all my family is. Shout
Right,
out to
right.
Brooklyn.
All right, cool.
And, I love Brooklyn. But then after Sandy, man, certain parts of Brooklyn, Park Slope is like under sea level.
Yeah, how about I was in Far Rockaway when Sandy happened? You know about Hurricane Sandy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived through that shit, man. It was
I
crazy.
Googled what was the highest territory. The Bronx was too far and Harlem was just right. And so now I'm in Harlem. I'm a Harlem girl.
You ran away. You scared of that water, huh?
Man, I couldn't get out. I was like literally 100 feet away from my apartment being flooded.
Wow.
Yo, never again.
That was a really big experience to live through. You know what I'm saying? Like it was weird.
I watched
that
trucks
and
float.
9/11. Like to live through that, like that was some real traumatic movies type shit in real life. For real. It was.
It was
And
surreal.
I think my lucky stars that I was able to survive and get through that shit, even with the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And me catching COVID and shit like that and surviving it and everything. It's like you don't get to go through a lot of things like that in your lifetime. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Disasters like that and treason on the world. Even when they went and stormed the White House and everything like that, it was for them to do that and me to live through it. This is times in history that'll be in books for
Forever.
generations to come while we're long gone. Our great grandkids will be talking about, well, my great grandmother, if they're a history or family enthusiast like
I
that.
still had the key to One World Trade Center.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I worked for a financial printing firm.
Okay.
And yeah.
I own a
that
storage
one,
spot.
That one really hit me hard.
Yeah, see?
one
So
really
there
hit
you
me
go.
hard.
And people still dying from that. Who inhaled
Yeah.
that smoke?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They still passing away now
Yeah.
from like complications
There's
of breathing.
actually a fund now. They finally realized conclusively that some of the asbestos and everything else that these people were
Right.
breathing in while they were saving lives or looking for bodies.
Right.
But I know a few friends that did that. Shout
Yeah.
out to Vince, Prince Vince.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it never goes away.
Yep.
It stays in their mind.
Word.
That stuff was.
I still think
traumatic.
about some of the people I lost from COVID already. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that left real quick. How did that affect like the music industry as far as like how A&Rs was looking at signing people and stuff like that?
I don't think it affected it in that way. I think it just affected it as in like cohesiveness, like being around people. Everything turned into straight Zoom, and it was
Right.
like you got to find a way to work with people without seeing them, without being able to touch them, and it's like a different thing. But after you get adapted to it, like it start working, and we're putting out like the amount of production we was before doing the same thing with Zoom. So like now we finding ways that somebody's in LA, somebody's in Atlanta, and get the same thing done without us being in the same room, which is just what technology is doing now. So
Exactly. I don't think that the business is ever going to be going back to like that real human to human.
Right.
I think there'll be a combination of the two. Like Gloria Gaynor, I had interviewed her and she said this so cool, OG vocalist. She was like, I'll never forget when I had to do a show and it was just me in the room, you know what I mean, with this camera and everything else. And it was a live remote and it was a track date. And she said, and it was just not the same. And she had performed in Brooklyn at the amphitheater out there. And she was like, there was just nothing like receiving that energy from an audience.
Right.
You know what I mean? For a performer, I can really understand that.
So somebody that was basically used to doing that their whole career, and now to have to do it like virtually only for the millions of people that's watching it would definitely be something different. hearing the cheers and the crowds.
Yeah.
And that energy is totally different when you're just doing it there and just standing there and there's nobody there. And they were still having people in like stadiums just to film it. Like I think a couple of award shows in 2020, it wasn't no people in there. It was just them performing it and they was just filming it, and just streaming it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how was that? Like I remember back. Tell me, but first of all, you tell me how A&Rs worked in the 80s and the 90s.
Well, I got in on the 90s.
Right. So what was your signing power in the 90s?
My first gig was an A&R assistant at Atlantic Records.
Okay.
Shout out to DJ Fumi. You know, I was a temp. And then he didn't want to be
DJ Fumi.
Yeah, DJ Fumi. Yeah, he's big time with reggae and house and roots music and everything. He's just a bomb.
Right.
You know, but he didn't want to be an A&R no more. And I was like, yo, bro, I want to do this. So he was like, all right, I'm just going to get sick a little bit more so you could get it. And then I'm just going to up and quit, no warning, so that they have to hire you as a permanent temp.
Right.
I was like, good day.
Word.
And that's what we did. And then, so, you know, back then, you know, the mastering session was really important. Back then, the budgets was really important. Being able to reforecast, you know what I mean? All of that kind of stuff was really key. But now, most of that is done by the artists themselves. They're already coming with completed music. You know what I mean? So if anything, unless you're a label developing an artist, you know, that's still the status quo, but most of the stuff has already come in.
Yeah, but
you know?
are the labels really like balancing, like you said, like back in the days they would have like artist development section or cubicle or somebody that would deal with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you know,
develop, but they don't do that now, right? Like you could speak on that now, because is there an artist development cubicle where people are there to help artists grow and give them a budget to where they could go in the studio and work on their craft? Like labels could have an eye on them, like you said. You ain't gonna worry about the guy that have 15 followers or whatever the case may be. But if you know he's dope, you're gonna keep an eye on him. Right. So in your department as an A&R, do you give guys a little artist development deal to where they can build off of it and have some hope? Like, all right, I got an artist development deal. Like they putting a little bit of bread behind me for me to get in the studio and work and build up my channels and everything like that. Do y'all have that now?
I would say it's less common from what I've seen, just from when I'm around. But you know, management deals are definitely. But I think the new thing is like distribution deals. So like, you know, Empire,
right,
and Sparta, which is 300's new distribution. Like, they're not owning your masters. They're not really taking a lot of the profits, but they're giving you a platform to put out your music. And then if the music is good enough, and if you have like making money, they'll put up a budget for you and for your marketing, for your radio, all that stuff. So it's
basically the label machine will be behind this artist if they really get their buzz up.
Yeah, you know, really right now the industry has gone back to the singles deal. You know, I've been telling artists it doesn't make sense to do albums right now. Get your guap up with singles, because everything is by the song.
How about an EP? It's a lot of EPs dropping.
EPs.
5 songs, 6 songs.
Yeah, but you know, the EPs, they don't make sense if I don't have a reason to buy the EP, right? If I'm not, like, the way it's fast food, like right now, the music industry, it's fast food.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So my whole thing is what I advise, because I consult artists. So what I advise them to do is to keep on cranking out those singles. And then people like Kevin will see them.
But that's what I'm saying. If you crank out 5 singles, you got dope videos, you doing radio promo, you moving around doing all of the shows you could do with 5 records, one of them will pop, but that's an EP right there.
Yeah, but no.
That's not the way to go.
No, the way to do it, because like when you think about it, downloads, that's the thing. So if I released song number 1, and you know, the best person I think that really understood it was Sylvia. Yeah, Sylvia with Electra. You know what I mean? Like when you look at an artist like Busta Rhymes, he would release a record that you all loved. Then he would release that record that you didn't expect.
Right.
And then he would release that single. We did the same thing at Rough Rider.
Right.
We gave you something that was, you didn't know, that wet your whistle. Then we came back with something that was like, oh, all right. And then we cracked you over the head with the anthem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what artists really need to understand.
What was the 3? What was the 3? What was the first
The
one?
first one is the introduction. The
record.
second one is the miscellaneous.
Like the one they're not expecting.
Yeah, that's that 2x4 that hit you by the head that you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
It's gonna be like,
you
I
know
don't know
what
if I like this.
Yeah, exactly. But it's opening up your demographic because they
God.
don't understand they now looking at you differently.
Right.
And then the third one is that banger. You better come with that banger. You better take the silencer off
three
and
singles
hit
before
your
the
mark.
album, I'm telling you.
Exactly. That's the way you promote it. And really, when you talk about EPs, like, I mean, dog, if I'm downloading you, I got a playlist with your songs in it. So I already got your EP. I don't need to sell you an EP. You're just repeating it and putting money in something that doesn't make sense. So after you've got that following, then you hold back. You wait for that demand, and then you hit them over the head with the album.
You see, y'all getting these gems? Yeah. Are y'all getting these fucking gems right now?
It's called supply and demand.
This is the exact reason why I got y'all on the show, because I wanted this, because I wanted to have, you know what I'm saying, the more of the seasoned school with the new school executives.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to even do that because y'all are really executives. Like, it's official. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is exactly why I wanted both of y'all here today for this, because people going to be listening, tuning in, and they're going to watch the rebroadcast, and they're going to get gems, and they're going to take this shit and be like, oh, maybe I should work this in my strategy and see what they're saying. You know what I mean? The people that don't want to know, they ain't going to listen. They just going to, you know, not watch and not pay attention to what's going on. Because I actually, when I first saw you again after a long time, we was at Mateo's thing at Colorworks. And actually, I'm supposed to get the dude from Colorworks here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's supposed to come up here and, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to interview him and everything like that. Serge. Serge.
Oh, yeah, Serge. Yeah.
The owner of the joint.
The owner of the joint,
We've been back and forth on the text because I want to get him up here and he can talk about shooting videos for the celebrities and different things because he had a lot of
Yeah,
big
that spot
deals.
is fly.
Yeah.
Shout out
It
to
is.
Serge and Mateo,
Word.
man. Y'all are doing your stuff. Even DJ Enough is doing his.
Yeah, he's a part
out
of
the
that.
box
That's all.
over there.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's
Yep,
they all
yep.
part of that thing.
Yes,
I
sir.
think he's down with heavy hitters,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. A lot
That's
of
his
heavy
thing.
hitter DJs,
That's
yeah.
his thing.
So you got to work with them doing radio and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
got to work with all of the radio DJs.
All the DJs, all that. Yeah.
So what's the procedure now with getting the DJs ready? Would you just send it out on a blast in an email to the guys that's in y'all circle and they just run with it?
Yeah, so I mean, getting into the radio department, I'm learning a lot. So like, there's program directors, and then there's DJs, and then I mean, I think there's somebody above the program director,
Right.
but they all matter. But the DJs are the ones that are gonna spin the record naturally. Like those are
Right.
the people that you want to kind of get feed first, because if they're not spinning it, the program directors aren't gonna put it in the mix, and that's like the thing. So once you get the DJs acclimated to the record, once they know, okay, this, I like this could work on the show, then the program directors are gonna be like, all right, this could work because the DJs are spinning it. So why wouldn't we take it? It's like a next level thing.
Now,
So,
as an independent artist, how would you say that they get these DJs to play their records?
see, a lot of artists will put out songs, and like the ones that blow that, you know, they didn't really work the record. Or I wouldn't call it luck, but you know, shit happens. But like if you're really trying to work a record, like you gotta just reach out. Like you gotta, like me, like I'm going out all the time. I'm out all the time. So if I'm at a party, if I'm at such and such, like it's time to like figure out who.
Because you got to be out here searching for the newest talent.
Yeah, everything.
So
like,
yo, Math, we gonna make him come to almost all of the events.
I told
Some
you,
of
let's
these dudes
get
that
it.
get
I
signed
remember
fucking
those
around.
days,
Yo,
man.
what's some dope ass talent? Last
Hell
night,
yeah.
I was at this
I would've
event,
pulled up, bro.
like
I'm
Flame
telling
of
you.
Thrones. Yo, I mean,
I would've pulled.
this shit was, oh my Lord. Like, yo, Math, you never cease to amaze me, my guy. Like, you picked the right, and I was going live, and then whatever, because I had left, because I had to go take care of something after, but I filmed at least about 8 or 9 groups, right? Got their footage and everything like that. And whatever I didn't get, I saw you filming it. So I was like, I can just snatch it off your page. So I know how to not be there sometimes. Like, all right, I'm gonna take his footage. You know what I'm saying? But yo, them groups was fire last night, man. It was some
Whose
dope
showcase
groups.
was that?
It was called Flame of Thrones instead of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Flame of Thrones, because it was a vendors event with, like, you know, 420 friendly, everything,
Oh, nice.
food, drinks, but it's also performances that's thrown in the mix.
Nice.
And yo, Math be picking the dope performers. Like,
Hey,
there ain't
go
no
ahead,
slouch performers at that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to come with that fire. Word up. So shout out to Math and the whole S.STREET media. You know what I mean? Sosa. Debonair hosted last night. It was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
lit.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He said he was signed now.
How's he
didn't
doing?
Yeah, he signed. So he said somebody signed him. He didn't say
Hey.
he didn't hand clap to that. He didn't say what label, but he did say he actually dropped a good point, because a lot of people think, and I'm glad that y'all here, industry execs. A lot of people think you got to just do trap and drill music now, but See, look,
Nah,
they
you
both
gotta,
shake their head at
you
the
really
same
gotta
time.
be yourself. So if you a
Right.
trap nigga and you do drill shit, like,
Right.
and you a drill nigga and what
Right.
you saying, like, I'm not telling you what to do, but if then that's your story. So you
Right.
talking that shit and you doing it.
Right.
But if you're not doing it, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying like there's artists that can say stuff that they're not doing, but it's like it's more than one route. Like you could talk about girls, you could talk about, you know, what hurts you, your parents, your mom, your
Right.
dad, your family, your friends. Like it don't gotta just be like you the hardest nigga on the block. Cause
Right.
like at the end of the day, it's like where that get you.
Yeah,
Where they
real
gonna-
Somebody
recognize
gonna
real.
test you.
Yeah,
feel
they
me? So
going
it's
they
like,
going they going to test out. You talking all this shit? Let's see what you really about.
Here's a jewel, right? This is for all the creators out there. Understand, as a marketer, understand that the consumer doesn't take and look at music the same way you do as a creator. They either like it or they don't. And 9 times out of 10, the reason why they like it is because it's real to them.
it gotta be real.
So
yeah.
if you're authentic and you really doing you, then you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
If you not,
shit.
they gonna pull cards.
And it may
Full
take
cause.
it may
Yeah.
take it may take a little it may take a little bit longer for people to catch on.
No, but it's gonna take longer though.
Right.
Like
You
it's
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
take
Like they
longer.
got to take that into
Yeah,
consideration
but you
too.
know what? That to me, I'm glad you brought that up because that to me is one of the biggest mistakes I see independent artists make.
What?
They don't pay attention to who their audience is.
Mm.
They think that this is the fruit and the flavor of the day, and they think that whatever they're making, they can grab that audience. No, you can't.
Right.
If you're an orange, you will never be an apple.
If you're orange, you'll never be an apple.
So if you're an orange, find people that love oranges and you will grow.
Yeah.
And pay attention to your audience. Don't just look for followers. Talk to your followers. Engage with your followers. Do real stuff that makes them want to come see you. Like if you got that guap, instead of buying that $200, $300 bottle to make your table look right, take that same $300 and say the first 50 or 60 people that you can buy drinks is on me.
Yeah.
Now they gonna be like, yo, that's my dude. He bought me a drink.
Yeah.
When's he performing again? Because I know I'm gonna get a free drink.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That goes a lot further than you flossing and not connecting.
I got another question. So now they saying everything is like pay for play, right? But
We ain't going there.
hasn't it kind of always been like that though? Because you got to pay certain establishments to get things done for you. So you know from back in the days and you know to now, labels is paying.
I know nothing. I see
It's-
nothing.
Listen,
I hear nothing.
Amelia, we is not in the age where we gotta hide that. Like it is
It's
what
still
it is.
illegal.
Pay to
bro.
Play like what?
Meaning like label it's not labels putting money into like the radio stations to get their artists
Oh
played
yeah,
in it.
radio budget. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They try to say payola like it's bad.
No.
All right. So what do you consider?
Marketing.
That's what. Yeah. You have to pay for marketing, right? So when you paying these establishments, like for me, I feel like as an independent artist, I feel like the best thing that I should do is buy ad space on major radio. If the DJs ain't playing my songs, just buy ad commercial space. To me, I feel, and I would like your opinion on that. What do you think?
I think you got to go where your audience is. Like I'd rather if I know that you're playing my record, I'd rather do an ad on your show. Because see, what people don't understand is your independent media outlets have a way more impact sometimes than your major conglomerates
Right.
when you're an independent artist.
Right.
Because of the mere fact that it's your audience. You're talking directly to your consumer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so your money goes further. Like you. If you said that showcase was so fly, anybody that's now listening wants to go to that showcase.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Word.
Because they're listening to you because they like you. They're listening to you because they like what you got to say.
My voice
So-
getting all deep now. Like,
And
yeah.
I don't care how much technology is out here, word of mouth is still the most effective.
And I
method
agree
of
with you on
marketing.
that.
No, yeah,
I agree with you on that because people don't be really understanding like how much power they have, their platforms and things that they do. Because you don't really know how many people is really paying attention to what you're saying and what you're doing. And me myself, I be out everywhere, and
No,
I'm kind
people,
of an
people
established
definitely
brand.
looking more than you think
what I'm
they're
saying?
looking.
Yes,
Like
definitely.
people definitely, you know what I mean? Like it's the internet, so somebody don't gotta like your shit. They don't gotta do nothing. They could just watch, and like that could be the one they're watching, and you fucking it up because you think it taking it lightly, and that
Right.
could be such and such watching you, and you
Exactly.
just nah.
That's the other thing that I tell artists to do.
What?
Don't pay attention to your likes or your comments. Pay attention to your impressions. Because ghost followers are real.
Right.
They ain't gonna do nothing but every single day they're going to your page to see what you're doing. Every single day. That's an impression.
Right.
That's where your real value is. That's what marketers look at. That's what advertisers look at.
Because
How
now
many
you can see
people-
all of that now when you go to
Right,
somebody's
in your
page.
analytics,
Yeah.
absolutely. You've got your likes, you've got your engagements,
Yep.
and then you've got your impressions.
Yep.
That's the money.
And a lot of people don't know that.
That's
They
the money.
really focusing on the likes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's the marketing. That's the trend.
Everybody want to feel liked now. It's about like popularity. Like me. But then
Yeah.
you got people that like you but don't show you that they like you, and that's where the impression things come in.
But that's where you gotta keep going at, because they not gonna show you that they like you in the beginning as much as they really like you. Like
Right.
people not gonna like just jump onto the board because they might think you gonna give up. They might think you gonna let them down. So it's like, instead of just doing that, they gonna watch you for a little bit and see what you about, see how you moving, and then that's when they say, okay, I can jump on his board. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So just gotta keep going.
Yo,
Can't stop.
I ain't gonna front. It's just like, it's like they're saying you on the outside looking in. You don't really get to see who's paying attention because it's you doing it. But you don't know there's a lot of people out there paying attention. Like, for instance, I knew for a fact that when I would have y'all on the show and I was promoting y'all, like saying who you were and what company you was behind and who you were, what company was behind, I knew for a fact that it was going to be people that's going to tune in. I knew it. Because for one, a lot of people know about the TV platform. We're gonna get
Shout
into
out
that.
to UBC
We're gonna
TV.
get into that next. We're gonna get into
UBC
some
and
music and get into that, and then drop some jewels on them. And I know for a fact everybody know what 300 Entertainment is.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to Kevin
So
Lyles.
when we come back, we're gonna play a couple records, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about the UBC TV thing and everything we talked about with that, and we're gonna talk about 300 because I remember. Not too long ago, they were saying something about 300. That's the home of 360 deals and stuff like that. So I want you to give some input on that.
I'll give you the input.
Yeah. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. It's the Stella Steph Show with your boy World of Rama, Groundhog TV, S.STREET Media. You know what I'm saying? We got bemorekev and we got ameliaismore.
We
in
gonna
the
sip on
building.
something sexy.
You know what I'm saying? Word.
Hold up.
What you got there?
Medication for the meditation. Smell like weed to me. Ganja?
You fi say ganja, ganja, ganja. 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 Me burn herb like Cheech Chong. Need it in my respiration. Seal all with no ventilation. Smoke full up the car till me can't see my hand. I was just sitting in a hot box. Marijuana smoking my dreadlocks. Feels like my lungs about to collapse. Just the thought is giving me a relapse. Me waiting for the weed parade. Till then I'll be smoking haze in the shade. Now my think top cut up back escalate. So how you can't tell me I'm not insane. Me vibes that give me strength. I even think it gives my ear length. It's money well spent. It take my last cent. I had to take a couple dollars out of the rent. I mean Budweiser strictly high grade. That good sense to me now. Give me the best in the area. Kush here so no hurt so now. Black weed from Jamaica. It gives you a relaxing aroma. We no rolling always not just before. trees, it's all I need. Smoke by the beach, enjoying the breeze. I look on my ear, flashing at the ear. When time it wet, water splash everywhere. Watch them a steer, but I don't care. That they're not come near, cause them fear. You fi say ganja, ganja, ganja. 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 Somebody. I mean both minds are strictly high grade. That good sense to me now. Give me the best in the area. Push here so no harm, so long. That way from Jamaica, it gives you a relaxing aroma. We no rolling away, it's not just me front and touch no white paper.
Hey yo, Eli, what the fuck?
She said that she gon' ride, we know she ain't gon' ride. She said that she gon' slide.
Yo, no nickel could change me. Heart of a lion, so nothing could cave me. Diamonds don't cave to the pressure. I beat a bitch up, cause I don't like peer pressure. My pants pressure, show fear, never they talk crazy, I press them. Pushing my button, so I push the button, cause all of my niggas is real reckless. They say they wrecking like Ralph, who? I stay in the lab like I'm Dexter. Could be high off the molly, I feel like Shikari, ain't none of these bitches gon' catch up. If you heard what I heard, you must heard that. And I'm throwing franks, bitches is buns, I'm telling no lie, it's so fast. Bitches be tripping, they taking no flights, though, they can put on a nice show. And me, I'm just giving the orders, these niggas be taking as far as my life goes. Whoa. He never see me, huh? I got him beating his feet. Beat him down for the bread, then I'ma just set him about for the week. Got a fetish for lettuce, getting these buckets of chicken. It's giving precious. Got a fetish for lettuce, getting these buckets of chicken. It's giving precious. You'll get smacked up quick. Only will fuck with me cause of my length. See who was coming behind me, then started and changing the story up quick. Like, whoa, all of the chit chat, oh, like, whoa. No, he ain't gang if he told, like, whoa. School of hard knocks, I'm in roll, whoa. 10-toe, fitting blue men in my bag, only time that I've been for. Like, whoa, all of the chit chat, oh, like, whoa. No, he ain't gang if he told, like, whoa. School of hard knocks, I'm in roll, whoa. 10-toe, fitting blue men in my bag, only time that I've been for. Listen, might just invest in a business. Hershey all up in my business. Know that my present's a gift, meaning everyday Christmas. Don't need a Britty for shit. Not for no dick or no cashy. I drive him cash shoes and he gon' be pissed when I go in his stashy. Whoa, clearly they missing the point. Underdog end up on top, so I shit like I'm proving a point. Ain't telling my, cause you can believe whatever you want. Use your medulla, you should've checked it just to see it for sure. I do not trust nobody, I'm keeping it brief, they see me and speak. I know 100 of niggas who will beat up all of your niggas, be cautious with me. Yo, pretty boy love my vibe, huh? Think he tryna take my drip. Listen, since he wanna act like a girl, I told that nigga suck my dick. Like, whoa, all of the chit chat, oh, like, whoa. No, he ain't gang if he told, like, whoa. School of hard knocks, I'm in roll, whoa. 10-toe, fitting blue men in my bag, only time that I've been for.
I've been looking for change, what's it gonna cost me? I've been struggling looking for change, what's it gonna cost? Set my soul free.
This the land of the free, the home of the brave. It was taken from the natives, renovated by slaves. We were promised reparations at the end of the day. 400 acres and a mule, hey, it would have been great. But wait, undereducated, underappreciated, undercompensated. Now America's the greatest. You promised you repay us for every bit of free labor. Then all you did was hate us. The internet had to save us. Shed light on situations happening around the nation. Ain't believe us when we say it. Thankfully we started taping. Police brutality, tragedies always happening. Families barely managing, hammering at the innocent. Painted us as the vigilant, targeted all the immigrants. Quick to be pointing fingers, but you ain't looking to marry yet. And you ain't hearing it, so I gotta rock the boat. Y'all sleeping, I'm already woke. No reparation, no vote.
I've been looking for change,
and reparations that can help around the nation. The easiest to do, to be honest, is just to pay us. But you can find the loophole up in any situation. We've been chilling, we've been patient and waiting for generations. Free education is always in the equation. Tax exempt would honestly be amazing. Early retirement, I promise they won't debate it. What you thinking? Money's the only payment for blood, sweat, and tears. Man, we lucky to be here. Maybe hard to bear, but give me free health care for all of the wear and tear, cause equal was never fair. Don't gotta be forever, give me 400 years. Student debts cleared, no more living in fear. It's a domino effect, watch crime rates disappear. You got some other options, pull up a chair. If you want a better nation, a change could start here.
I've been looking for change, looking for change. What's it gonna cost me? I've been struggling, looking for change, looking for change. What's it gonna cost? Set my soul free.
There's some things we gotta change to help improve things. If we ever come together, just watch they mood swing. Kill all of the beef like a barbecue, man. And the fuse, all the few dang. The shoot tang is fueling the fire. Stop all the violence. We crippling our numbers, don't let them divide us. Divide and then they conquer. It's the only way to fight us. They proving that they don't like us. I'm thinking this would unite us. It's hard to see how minorities are majority. Unfortunately, we ain't voting like we supposed to be. Wanna make a change, you gotta do it accordingly. Vote for legislation who gives support to minorities. They don't gotta be black, listen to what they saying. Do they got a plan to help the black man and woman? Cause many wouldn't even if they had the chance. Google reparations and give it a glance.
I've been looking for change, looking for change. What's it gonna cost me? I've been struggling, looking for change, looking for change. What's it gonna cost? Set my soul free.
Yeah, we back, y'all. We back. You know what I'm saying? We got ameliaismore in the building. We got bemorekev in the building.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So the first song that I played that we kind of performed that last night. Shout out Mr. Crucial, Mr. One Love. That Ganja record was the perfect song to play last night since there was so many vendors and it was so 420 friendly. I thought it was so I thought it was just so.
I thought it was April 20th.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like it was a perfect event. So I told my guy to come down because we got a song together that's on the In Transit EP and it's called Get It In Time. We performed that first. And I was going to do My Flowers, but Alicia wasn't there. She has a prior engagement. So I like to invite other people out as well that's on the project. And we make some things happen. But the second song that we was playing, it was a girl group. Mm-hmm. What was the name of them?
Girl Code.
Girl Code.
From New York.
They from New York. And they actually went viral, right?
Yeah, they went viral. They had like a video of them like on their block sitting next to each other, rapping like with each other, like back and forth, like lyric for lyric, bar for bar. And it went pretty crazy. It's on TikTok, got like 1 million views. Twitter got like 1 million views. Facebook, 1 million views. So like they putting out a project in May. They signed up 300. So I've been working with them a lot, getting their name out there. They've been performing at different showcases. They going through the YNVS Joan in 2 weeks. So they're going to be outside a little bit.
What's Airdrop Tuesdays?
Yeah, Airdrop Tuesdays. Yeah.
Yo,
Shout
anybody.
out Airdrop Tuesdays. That's actually how we linked up. You know what I mean? Shout out to Shampoo.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Shout out to.
Wax.
So I got another question. So
Yeah.
how did those girls go about getting signed to 300? Was it because that viralization that they had?
I would definitely think so. But, you know, another thing is when you sign an artist, like you want them to have that heart. And when I get around them, like they got the heart, they got the energy, they got the want to do it. And it's never like you got to get them to go record. Like that's the one thing, like with an artist, you should never have to ask them to do, get
Come
them
in
to
the
do.
studio,
Like
right.
if you sign them an artist, they should be wanting to record. I'm not going to save their whole life, but recording is everything. So if you find some artists that like to record and they want to be in the studio, they want to talk to the mic, they want to just talk to the mic, like those are the it factors.
So they always creating.
Plus the energy, plus the vibe, the personalities, like all that matter too. But you got to be able to want to create. Like some people like to just say they artists, go to the studio, fuck around, and then get mad at other people. But the real artist is just gonna keep working and keep going to the studio, keep putting it out, keep working on their sound. So finding them type artists is key.
And they dope too. They dope and they look good. Are they sisters?
I don't think they sisters, but they best friends.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, You want to pull up the viral joint?
Well, we gonna pull it. Next music break, we gonna play that joint
bet.
again.
Yeah, say less.
You know
Say
what I'm
less.
saying? Then the last artist that we played, you know what I'm saying? It's a guy, BT the artist.
Yep.
All
Out
right,
of Boston.
all right, so
independent artist.
How did you link with him, and how did that go about?
So yeah, shout out to BT and the whole New Black Excellence, New Black Elite Records.
Let's do a cheers,
Woo-hoo!
y'all. Let's do a cheers. You know what I'm saying? Salute,
Cheers.
y'all.
Salute.
Yeah. Success and more relations. You know what I'm saying? Keeping y'all relationship tight and everything like that. You know what I mean?
Facts. So BT is out of Boston. He actually was an athlete. The kid throws a 96-mile-an-hour baseball.
This guy, BT the artist?
Yep. He was
Get
part of
the fuck
bass.
outta
He was
here.
part of bass, and like he's got recognition from like really big people. You know what I mean? And but he wanted to rhyme. That's his passion. So he started rhyming. Shout out to Chris Phillips and Mr. Reed and Lori, the whole team. The squad is real. We going at it and we getting it. And his whole thing is progressive music. You know what I mean? He just wants to be different. He just wants to do
because I seen in the video, he's definitely preaching a lot about a lot of stuff. And then you got George Floyd in there at the mural and all that.
Yeah,
so,
he calls himself the street activist.
Yeah, that's dope.
So
you know
he
what's
just
so crazy?
feels like musicality.
I'm glad that we brought this guy up because nowadays, right, the newer music, it's all about gang, gun, kill, ba. And, you know, where we come up from that era, it was, you know, self-destruction, the daisy age, all of the positivity stuff, and it was a mixture. You know what I'm saying?
That pendulum is actually swinging. Like, you know, again, I'm a musicologist, right? I'm a marketer. I'm an analyst. And I look at everything that's happening, and there's an undercurrent that's happening right now that regardless of whatever the powers may be, there's, you know, I look at the generations, right? So there is a generation underneath us, right? Underneath the Generation Z that's just sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're not about it at all. That 10 to 26, those are the ones that are now talking about progressivism. Those are the ones that are now talking about social responsibility. Those are the ones that won't buy your product. And they mean it. They will not buy your product without purpose. They're for real with that. So there's a whole undercurrent coming up, and this kid, BT, is talking straight to them. And a perfect example of that is D1. D1 was the kid that did that song about the student loans and blew up with that.
Yeah, I remember
like
that.
3-4 years ago.
That, yeah.
Now he's doing songs with the Game and Big Boy and everybody.
Right.
He's living large independently.
And you could really make this money independently.
And he's making guap.
When we was at the Mateo thing, the seminar, what I took from that whole thing was when he said, all you got to do is corner the market 50-mile radius around your city. So 50 miles each way. You hit up the all of the major stations or whatever that's going on, 50 miles within your area in a circle. You corner that market, you get some hardcore, like 100 hardcore fans that's going to always come out to your shit or buy your shit when it come out. Who the fuck else you need?
You know what we used to call that?
What?
Hood famous.
Hood famous, yeah. Well, famous is the way to go now.
Exactly.
Because once your hood is fucking with you, the whole world's fucking with you, especially coming from New York. If you get the New York people to really pop and talk about you, and there's so many independent podcasts and radio shows. If you just keep frequenting them joints and keep banging them with them singles, like you said, yo,
but you
motherfuckers
know,
gonna be talking.
here's the other thing, not to cut you off, but here's the other thing, what I really want artists to understand. It's a musical minefield. Okay? You never know when you're going to step on that detonator. So you have to have a plan on when you step on it, how you're going to release. You know you're going to lose something, right? But what is it that you're going to really lose? So if you wind up losing a market, but the market right next to you is loving you, then don't care about that market. I see artists that lose a market and then spend crazy money to get that market back. No. Go to the next one. Next. That's my favorite word right now. Next. Because it's a waste of time and energy. It's not the same game. Numbers count. Everything else doesn't.
So the numbers do matter then.
Oh, yeah.
Instances. So hold up. So basically you said when you see a guy and his numbers ain't that up, but you know his music is good, you'll keep an eye on him. Right. But you ain't going to give him no distribution or nothing like that.
No, I mean, typically you wouldn't. But, you know, I think a lot of times now you get confused that if an artist got 130 likes or whatever, like he's trash or he nobody cares about, he can never have a chance.
Right.
When like I've witnessed like artists go from 6 months periods from like 200 likes to now getting 10,000 likes in like you wouldn't even have really seen it unless you just tapped in with it, really sat down, listened to the music, and like that stuff is real. Like artists go from 5 month period, and just like that, and like just because you took your eyes off of it, you know, you lost that opportunity or you lost that chance.
That's like back in the days when a lot of like the guy who fronted on signing Nelly, the guy who dropped 50. There's a lot of A&Rs out there that had the opportunity to sign these dudes that went diamond and still got wonderful careers nowadays and just passed
Look
on.
at X. Look at X. X is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I remember when I was at G Street, Why came to me. Domingo, shout out to Domingo Beats. Domingo came to me and was like, yo, I got my man Mark. Why I want to introduce you, yada, yada, yada. John Baker was the CEO at that time. We had PM Don, we had Dougie Fresh, we had Amber Sunshower, we had Grave Diggers, right? And he was like, yo. And I was like, yo, this dude right here is ridiculous. I brought it to my boss. My boss was like, don't worry about that. And I was like, oh. You know what I mean? Because you know what's real. If you connected to the streets, you know what's going to pop. And then as God will have it, like 6 to 8 months later, I started my own marketing company and I get called, my own consulting firm, and I get called to go to Yonkers to meet Siobhan. And here it was, right back to the artist. Right back to the artist that I wanted to work with. And I was just like, God, thank you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And the rest is history.
Yeah.
You know
so
what
you
I'm
believe
saying?
in DMX as soon as you heard him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because what Earl had that I don't really see too much is his sincerity. He was who he was. And he didn't fake no jacks with that at all.
Right.
And when he spoke real. Shout out to Superior. You know what I mean? Because those days prior to Rough Rider, he was actually developing his own sound. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know that story. You know
what's so crazy about you saying that story? Yo, Math, don't I always be talking about the 6 degrees of separation?
Woo!
Now, she's talking about how she was involved with X's career from the very beginning and artists not taking a chance on him or labels not taking a chance on him. We have 2 label executives in here, right? Now, who took that chance on him? It was Leo Cohen, wasn't it?
Right. It was Rough Rider, really, actually, that took
right, but who brung them on?
And then it was Def Jam.
Right.
And then from there was Interscope.
Right, because I remember Leo was having an interview and he was talking about how much he believed in DMX and stuff like that. Shout
out Leo.
Right, and obviously
Shout out Kevin Lyles, though.
Right.
Because Kevin was working with Leo at that time.
300
Shout out Kevin Lyles.
by Kevin Lyles and Leo Cohen, like their own imprint that they started after Def Jam?
Yes.
See how that 3 degrees, that 6 degrees of separation is?
Yeah, well, Leo is up at YouTube Music, too.
I heard,
I mean, he's doing his thing over there. You know what I mean?
He actually went and sold 300, right?
Yeah, shout out to that.
Acquired by Warner,
Yep. So Warner.
Chess moves, man.
Yeah, Weah, or is it just Warner or Weah?
Warner.
I remember when it was Weah before.
Yeah.
But
Warner,
the brand was not going nowhere, but Warner acquired.
Yeah, Warner acquired it. And Warner needed that. No disrespect to anybody, but Warner needed that because, you know, some of these majors, they've lost connection to the streets. You know what I mean? And one thing that I've learned in my 30 years in this game is the streets always set the trend.
Streets win.
If you're not on the front line, you're going to fall back behind the line. For real. Because you better know what's popping up. You better know where that weed is growing because it blooms into a tree real quick. You know what I mean? Right. And like for artists, understand that if you ain't been in this game for 7 to 10 years, you ain't ready. I'm going to keep that a buck.
I've been in for a year or 2.
Yeah.
3 years.
But not on the executive side. I'm saying on the artist side. Right? On the artist side, like even with Earl, like it took him, almost 10 years.
No, it did take a long time.
He was developing for 9 years, and then he took those records and made his first album in his 10th year. You know? But the way we market it, it makes it look like it's overnight.
But isn't it a little bit different now that a lot of artists' song goes viral on TikTok or something like that, and now they big stars?
But how many of them come and go?
A lot, but I think a lot of these records are blowing up, and it's giving these artists opportunities. Because I've seen some dudes that they song went viral, and a lot of dudes didn't know how to capitalize off of it. But there's some dudes that record took off, and now anything they put out, people paying attention to.
Yeah, but at the same time, they haven't really learned the game. Because if they learned the game, that one single should have let them into that album, that should have let them into that product development, that should have let them into them endorsements, that should have let them into them sponsorship deals, that should have let them into everything else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're one-hit wonders.
Okay.
And you're going to have a lot of that every single day. As an A&R, you know, you recognize that. And you just get that guap because I want that bonus at the end of the year. I'm not... I mean, and when you think about the era that I was doing A&R, there were a lot of one-hit wonders.
Right.
You knew that record like Broken English. That was a smash. I wish I signed that record. I wanted to. You know what I mean? But, I mean, think about it. Right? It came in and left.
A lot of A&Rs will regret certain things that they passed on because they might have not had that ear for it at the time. Like he said, it wasn't that time and you didn't see it. Like, for instance, I got vintage video footage of it was some brand that was supposed to be opening up and they had like a panel and it had Mona Scott, it had Self, it had a couple of people that was in there.
Love.
Right? So people started talking about Cardi B. So, you know, every time Cardi B comes up and her success and DJ Self is there, everybody remembers when Cardi B was like, oh, you don't believe in me and I'm going to make it and you're going to see it. I'm going to show you. Here it is.
Yeah, but
Cardi B took
wasn't
the
James
off.
Cruz behind that, though? In the very beginning? I think he was. I think James was behind that in the very beginning.
But what that got to do with DJ Self?
Because it's always about the team.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's about the person that knows and endorses it. That's what Self did. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But then it's also about the other person that goes into those corporate meetings and says, listen, I made you this amount of money with this, and I'm trying to tell you that this right here is going to make that plus.
Right.
So when somebody like that starts talking about you, bang.
So what you're saying is like James Cruz might have dropped the ball?
Yeah. No. I don't think anybody dropped the ball. I think what happened with her was she had to find her way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Being a female in this business is not a game.
Right.
Like, I'm going to keep that a buck. For all you females out there, understand, it is not about manhunting. It's about understanding your value and don't settle for less. Real talk.
You just
know
said,
what I'm saying?
we just played two females that you signed, and you said they're workaholics.
Yeah.
That's real because it's a man-dominated business. You know what I mean? And like, I mean, I didn't look like this when I first started in the game.
Right.
No makeup, hair pulled back, baggy jeans, Timbs, and a sweatshirt.
Right. But you kind of like that right now.
No, but I got leggings. I'm a little bit more sexy. I got makeup. I got my hair out.
You
know
got the
what I
Rough
mean?
Riders hat on.
Of course, I'm always going to rep the
Shout out your people's clothing line.
Lychee Kimono.
Lychee Kimono.
Shout out to Devon. Yeah.
I like that joint with
Yo,
you. You know
LYCHEEKIMONO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lamichi.
Lychee Kimono.
Lychee Kimono. All right, let's get it right, y'all.
She got flavor.
Yo, don't support that brand.
Real. And, you know, for those females that really want to understand, navigate, I'm going to plug real quick. I got a book called CEO versus CEO.
Right.
And it really teaches women how to really understand how to position yourself and how to redefine yourself.
Right.
Like, I was called a bitch back in the day, and I still am sometimes. But I don't care because my definition of bitch is beautiful, intelligent, talented corporate hustler. So, yes, I'm not only
a lot of
bitch,
people
I'm
call me
that bitch.
A lot of people call me an asshole, and I don't know. I got an acronym for every letter, but
sometimes you got to be that way.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you got to be
I
that
noticed
way.
in this business, when you a nice guy, you get walked all over and took advantage of.
Well, you know, I like to tell people it's a choice. Don't make me choose otherwise. Please don't.
I think you just gotta be an asshole or bitch to some people some of the time.
Yeah,
period.
sometimes you gotta lay the
they
law
gotta
down.
understand like, yo, don't play with him.
Right.
Because if they feel like, well, we gonna go to Amelia, or we gonna go to World of Rama, or we gonna go to Kev, they gonna do it like, because they'll say that. They'll be with their people's like, yeah, we gonna make them do it. They gonna do whatever.
Nah.
You know what I mean? They ain't gonna back down. You know what I'm saying? But
My
if they
motto
know
for
that you not like that,
2022?
they're like, I don't know. He might not go for that, or she might not go for that. She don't be playing that
Listen,
shit.
no
So that
dough,
matters.
no go. No dough, no go. That's the rule
But
for
when you're
2022.
dealing with like an artist that you're dealing with, and they probably want dough from you to get something done, and you might feel like that's not a move to make. You got to be the asshole or the bitch sometimes. And be
It's
like,
not
no,
that. It's
motherfucker.
just being that business person, and that's what I try to let females understand. It's not about being emotional. It's being factual. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes they don't
Lay down
understand that
the
when
facts.
they want what they want.
I don't give a damn. It's your problem. It's not my problem. Let's just make that real clear.
Oh, I guess that BITCH is coming
Yeah,
out.
beautiful, intelligent, talented corporate hustler.
Yeah.
I know how to flip it. And you ain't flipping my bricks.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
Right.
You letting it stash, you using it, you letting it get old and molded. I can't have that.
Kev, what you got to say about that as far as like artists wanting something their way, and how you feel about not being a pushover and having to put your foot down about stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to like labels and like that relationship and stuff like that, like you got to come with a vision. Like a label should be able to see the vision in you, and you should be able to portray that to them. And really, they're there to help you. They're not there to make your dream for you. They're not there to make everything. Like they're really there to assist you and support you. So if you're the artist and you're the one going to the studio, you're the one making the songs, like they're there to promote the songs. They're not there to find the song and make the song for you. So it's just.
But you know, labels, y'all, because when I'm saying labels, y'all was executives and executives at labels. Sometimes artists will come to you with a song and you'll be like, nah, we don't want to go that way. We want to have you do this. And we got this writer here that's going to put that together. How should artists feel about that when you want to like change them around to be something that sells?
I think artists should believe in themselves.
But what
first.
if the label wants to change what they do?
I think an artist should believe in himself first, because I feel like that's what all the greats did. And I'm not saying I know everybody's story, but when you believe in yourself, you follow your true story, and nobody knows your true story more than you do. Now, somebody might can help you, they can put you in the right position, but like if you can vocalize, if you can pitch like what you want, and I think that's one of the biggest things. Like young artists, they don't know what they want. They don't know what they looking for. They don't know how much they want to spend. They don't even have the numbers. So it's like you come into these labels, you come into managers like, can you help me? But like now it's like, help with what? Like, what do you need help with? Then they're like, I don't know. I just want to get hot. And it's like, that's where the blurred lines come in, because it's like, you got to isolate it. You got to say, I need help with marketing. I need help with my visuals. I need help with my mixing and mastering. I need help with Instagram. You can't just say, I need help. I'm trying to get hot. Like, what way? Let's narrow it. So if it's Instagram, now let's go to Reels. Like, what do we need to do? Content. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, really got to narrow it down. It can't just be, I'm trying to get hot. Because then it's like, you just talking like that.
I agree with you 200%. I think one of the biggest problems with dealing with independent artists is they don't understand the business.
Right.
No, for real.
You know what
that's
I mean?
why a lot of artists
business. Like,
it's a real
it's
business.
a real business. Like,
you are a product.
Nobody gives a fuck. Like unless like even to perform at a concert, even to perform, like there's got to be somebody, either you or your camp, that's talking to somebody there that's saying, I want my artist to come perform. It can't just be like artists aren't just pulling up and they're just performing. Like artists aren't just on poster boards. They're not just like, everything is like a conversation. Like, hello, how you doing? This is my artist. And like artists got to realize that you might got to open your mouth sometime and speak for yourself. It don't got to be your manager. It don't got to be anybody around you. You can speak for yourself and say, I want this. I want to do it this way. And people be like, oh, wow, you're an artist and you're telling me what you want to do, instead of your manager coming, and that'll really open some eyes up for people.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And you get more respect that way. And the other thing is, as an artist, understand that creativity is a collective thought.
Yeah.
So sometimes dare to take that journey. You know what I mean? Dare to open up your artistry. You know what I mean? Yeah. To the point where maybe somebody does have that good idea for you that you never thought about, that's beyond your comfort zone.
You gotta listen, though. You definitely gotta listen. You gotta listen. Definitely gotta listen.
Definitely, because when you're constantly resistant and somebody is a professional and knows how to flip it, it's like youngin'. You now listen. A problem.
You gotta listen for sure.
But that's
and they won't tell you that.
Artists look for labels because they don't really want to do that work.
But then it comes to, that's why they, then it comes to, do you really need a label? Do you really want a label? Because a label is not for everybody. Like, some people just want to make money off music and live and be happy and like they don't want to be global stars. Because if you sign to a label, that's the point of it. Like, you can't be a global star independently. Right. It's not gonna happen, because the connections, the plugs, the money, like global.
Well, some do.
Some do.
Let me
some
say
do. Some do, because
what's the guy name that had the album of the
Tech
year?
Tech-9 is doing his thing.
Tech-9, but
you
it's
know
the
what
other
I'm saying?
guy.
Game is doing his thing.
Who?
Tech-9 is doing his thing. He's been doing his thing for a while.
Independently
and
forever.
What's dope about?
Yeah,
but no,
but like, I mean, like.
No, but no, he's opening up for stadiums. Money. He's making guap. And
like
he made guap during the recession.
YouTube.
Right.
He made like $50,000 a month.
But it is. I'm saying, if you trying to be like a global superstar,
but I
you
mean,
need a label.
Drake,
that's all I'm saying.
Like, but then at that point, you could go to a label and you could have a budget.
Tech-9 built a lot of stuff before. Like, I feel like they've been doing this for 20 years, 15 years. Yeah. So they had a long time. Artists coming out now, like,
look at D1.
If you're a young 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, like if you're saying you want to be the next big thing, like, I'm not saying you sign a deal early on, but eventually you're gonna have to negotiate.
Well, that's I'm gonna keep that so funky with you. That's the real issue. You know what I'm saying? It's like with any chess move you make, it's what pieces you're going to take off the table. You know what I mean? And so when you start getting to that point where you want to get to that label part, you have to understand that it's a give and take. Oh, yeah. And so what I tell
100%.
artists is always negotiate to renegotiate. There's more power in renegotiating than there is in negotiating. That's the reason why after 6 months, X was able to renegotiate his deal. Because the first deal wasn't all of that. But we knew once he came out, he was going to blow it out the water. And then the next thing you do as a manager is say, my artist is not happy. My artist can't perform. My artist is not happy. Well, we got to make him happy because he's making all this fucking money. What the fuck? Well, then let's sit at the table. You see what I'm saying? That's the game. And when you understand that, you really know how to fly. So what I tell independent artists is get your team.
No, you need a team.
You need a team. And not your mans in them.
And I mean, like, you need a team. And I don't mean, like, you need, like, somebody that has super experience, but you need somebody who realizes that, like, that you're the person you're the artist, and that I'm not gonna say whatever you say, but if you need them to do something, like they do it without a you know what I mean? Because y'all a team. Y'all not like if you're on a basketball court and you say, bro, go to the block or go to the corner, like the teammate going to go to the corner. So it's like you got to find a team where as though y'all know y'all roles and everybody's not trying to be the same person. You know?
Right, like play your position.
Play your position. Competition. Everybody trying to be the star at the beginning.
Right.
But it seemed like nowadays these rappers they telling their artists they friends to go and kill such and such, and they going to do it.
See, that's crazy.
See, I
don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But that's what's going on.
Yeah,
I be watching YouTube and I'm watching. There's some platforms out here that's making hella money off of views, off of telling the story of these rappers and taking their songs and doing the Inspector Gadget and putting it all together on how he was talking about such and such. That's why these other guys came over and did it. Yeah. Like Drewski just the other day said he's not gonna play gang music no more.
I love it.
That's gonna be hard though.
No, it's not.
No, I mean it's gonna be hard as in like a lot of the stuff people putting out that people like is that stuff. You know what I mean? Like people like the street shit. Like they like. I know,
but you know what? People like what they're served.
But he's one DJ though.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep this real funky.
Let's go, Amelia.
Okay, let's just keep this real funky. People like what they're served. Okay, and Crazy Bone, shout out to Crazy Bone. I love you to death for what you did. He did a podcast. Yes, thank you. Yes, give Crazy Bone that. Yes, he did a podcast, and he actually exposed how that whole rap agenda was the gangster rap agenda was formulated for the private prisons. Yep. And we need to understand that our culture, hip hop, rules the world. And no one should have the power to say what is next except for us.
And that's a fact.
And to my brothers, I understand the game that you play. The gang life is so real. I mean, it's so real.
It is.
I've been on the front lines discussing it with youngins, and I understand it, but I don't understand it.
When you be an artist, you gotta separate it. It can't just be.
Yeah, but it's not, because it's your lifestyle.
And that's the thing.
You understand? I was that before I was this. And no matter what I am, it's who I was that always stays who I am.
Yeah, but I feel like that life that they live in, like artists don't even get a full year to really blow. Soon as he start blowing, he either go to jail or get killed.
No, because that's because niggas still be doing what they rapping about.
Exactly.
You can't do what you rap about.
Like I just said, like you can't really get out of that life.
But can we get really spiritual on this? Can we get really spiritual on this? You reap what you sow. And this is what I try to tell my brothers. You reap what you sow. You walk into the darkness, there is no light. So when you decide to go into the light, you cannot touch the darkness anymore. Like, that's real. So maybe
that's why Mason, some of these other guys, they went to the Lord, but yet they had to come back. That darkness was calling them.
But no, it's not darkness. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Music industry is not the darkness.
Well, the one he was in, obviously that made him chase the Bible.
Listen, there are elements within this game that controls the game. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But there are avenues in this game that is not controlled by those elements. Mm-hmm. And so you have to make a conscious decision of where your elevation is going to be.
Well, see, a lot of these dudes that had record deals, and you know, back in the days, record deals meant a lot of money, a lot of luxurious
stuff. We had A artists, B artists, C artists. Right, A artist was 500,000 up, B artist was 250.
Mace was a platinum artist. He not coming back here to be in the lighter part of the industry, which is independently or dealing with gospel, because Mace could have easily rapped as a gospel artist now. There's some gospel artists blowing up, doing well. But what did he do? He came back onto with dealing with Puff and the regular labels and the relationships he had.
Because he can.
Right, but that's not that's what he ran from.
No. I won't say that that's what he ran from. I think, you cannot excuse trauma. You understand? That was his dog. That was a team. Like, to be on the front line and watch us do what we did in the 90s, like, it was amazing. Like, I can't put it in words other than if you believed it, you conceived it, and you achieved it. Just that quick. Like, you were doing $1 million videos. You know what I'm saying?
They don't do that now, right?
$1
$1 million
million
remember.
videos.
I think Busta was one of the first ones that really started as a rapper. Puff
was his first. You was having No Way Out.
Oh, right.
You
right,
had
right.
white tigers in a cage.
Yeah. That's right.
In a club.
But that's Hate Me Now video, right?
Yes.
You can hate me now.
White
Shout out
tigers,
Nas.
real
Nas,
tigers.
Still relevant to this day.
Real tigers. Like, I went to that set just to see the tigers because I love big cats. You understand? It wasn't in a zoo.
Big cats.
It wasn't in a zoo. It was right there. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
So where were the tiger handlers at? They was
Then you got to think about what we also did. I always pay tribute to all my dogs, Biggs, Damon Dash, Jay, all of y'all, because again, if you believed you achieved, they had a prospectus. A prospectus is when your company is getting ready to go public.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand how much money they were making? They had liquor. They had technology. They had stuff that people didn't even know that they had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you look at Rough Rider Lifestyles, we had 6 elements. We had the thug workout. We had the bikes. We had the dog food. We had the clothing line. We had the producers. And we had the label. Nigga, what? That's money. You understand? That's the reason why these ventures got shut down. Mm-hmm. In 2000, I was telling all my brothers, like, yo, I'm looking at these budgets. I'm looking at these numbers. We're making way more money than them. I was like, by 2005, it's going to be over. 2002, it was done. They pulled the plug on all of that. And 360 Deals came alive.
Because they wanted to get in on everything.
Facts. Because they realized that they were the ones that's funding it. But what's so beautiful, once a hustler, always a hustler. This is what I love about my youngins. You know what I'm saying? They understand the flip game.
Right.
So they're doing it on their own. Look, Lychee Kimono.
Okay.
You understand? We ain't waiting for nobody. We just doing it. And we're
Right.
bringing the flavor. Like, it is what it is. And that's never going to stop.
So, Kev, with that being said, how do you feel about the 360 deal and everything like that? Being an A&R and all of that? And labels taking a piece of everything that artist brings into the, to the umbrella.
I feel like, well, number one, like, you shouldn't sign a deal unless you're ready. Number one. Number two, like, you should never, I mean, like, you always got to negotiate, like she was saying, but, like, every artist, it's not the right time to sign a deal. So, and I'm not, like, it could be the right time, but you got to really reflect and be like, is this the time where, like, I'm about to partner with a major label and XYX and they take this and I get this? Like, is this that time? Because, like, really, like, you take an artist who signed at 18, like, a label, and you sign a label at 18, like, they could really change your life by 20. Like, you could be a big artist, and by 18, you was just a street Hollywood, a street celebrity. So, like, by 20, a label could do a lot for you, and then you get to 20, and it's like, damn, they've been taking half my money, whatever. But it's like, now you have a bigger platform. So it all really, it's like a give and take, like she said. Like, you if you want to be
it's pros and cons.
If you want to have a real team, if you want to have connections, if you want to have plugs, if you want to have people to go to, then I would say, like, a label is the go. But if you want to really figure it out by yourself and be doing everything that a label would do for you, then independent. But I wouldn't say it's one way. Like, it's any artist could go any way and it could work any way. You just gotta be able to wake up every day with the positive attitude and realize that these people are here to help you. They're not here to put you down. They're not here like no label. They're here to help. So you gotta vocalize what you want. You gotta vocalize, look, I want this. Can I do this? I like this. Do you like this song? You gotta vocalize. You can't just be sitting in the corner complaining. And I feel like that's what a lot of artists do. They record, they don't get what they want, years go by, and then they start complaining instead of like, what do you want? And they never you never vocalize that. You never tell people, what do you want? What do you want from the label?
Right.
What can they do for you? And you got to be able to say that, tell them, and like 90% of the time
they'll
do it for you. You just got to figure out how I'm gonna say it, because you keep all that in, you complain, but it's like, what do you want too? Like, and they'll ask you, it's like, what do you want, bro? What can we help with? And then they'd be like, oh, I don't know. I just want to get hot. I don't know. I'm just trying to. And it's like, you gotta like isolate those different departments, like radio,
So if an
marketing.
artist came to you and they said, "Yo, I want to do my thing. I need you to put more money behind me, or I need you to push me," and you say, "What do you want to do?" And he'd be like, "Well, I want more Instagram, social media marketing, and I want more YouTube marketing. You know what I mean? I want to get more views and stuff like that on YouTube, because I know getting those streams and getting my buzz up that way, I can start collecting."
Well, I would say, are you putting out enough content? Like, because people say that, but then it's like you look at their last video and it's like 9 months ago. So it's like if everything got to go hand to hand. So if you want the views, you got to put out the videos. You got to have the videos. If you want this, you got to have something to back it. It can't just be you looking at somebody saying, I want YouTube views, but you only got one YouTube video yourself.
Right.
So I feel like that's what a lot of the music industry is like missing right now. You got to bring value. Like once you bring value, like people want to work with you because you're bringing value. So if you say to the label, look, I already shot 10 videos and I got them on my phone. I shot them in my hood. I shot them on a block. Like, can I show you these and can we work with them? Like, that's better than saying, like, can y'all help? Like, oh, y'all not trying to help me with a video, but like, go shoot them yourself then.
Right.
And you can do that and then show them, and then they'll come up with ideas. And like, you got to bring value though. You can't just look at people and expect them to do anything for you. So
basically now it's like more of a hands-on thing. You got to get on it and do it, make it happen, and coerce them to fuck with you.
Yeah, and I'm not saying every artist does that. Like some artists, like they just do their thing. But like to really tell your story and to not get into that complain world of, oh, I'm in a deal and you got to really use these people for what they there for. Like,
so a lot of people that be complaining about having a deal and they on the shelf and they ain't doing nothing, it's because they're not getting those executives behind them to want to do something for them.
Yeah, and I mean too, like nobody's forcing anybody to sign a deal too.
Right.
So like I've been around, like it's all about what you want. So right now, if you're looking around, you say that upfront money is calling me, but I'm giving away 80% of my profit. You can't really complain later because you signed it.
A lot of dudes feel like when they get a deal that it's supposed to be all glitter and glamour.
Nah, that's when the game begins.
You know that's where it starts.
Exactly. That's where the game begins.
That's where like all the meetings start. The first like introductions, or we just signed them. Like, let's tap in with everybody. You feel me?
Here's the thing: for all you independent artists that sign to a label, there's 3 departments that you really should know. Definitely the A&R. That's your best buddy.
No, you gotta know A&R, because if you
the one
putting
that
out
walks
music,
you in the game.
you need mix and master, and you need all that.
But your manager should know A&R administration.
That's another conversation.
Those are the ones. Your manager should know A&R administration. Those are the ones that watch every penny spent and know how much money you have in your account. Okay, they're the ones that can say, "Hey, listen." The manager said he needs another $20,000 to do something, but they really didn't spend that much money, and we actually could shift this money from here to there. The promotion money we haven't really spent, so we could take that and put that into the marketing money. That's what they do. And I don't know how many artists that were signed to a label don't even know A&R administration. The other
they don't even know who produced their records.
Thank you.
And it's crazy because it's like you gotta know this type stuff. Like if you putting out a project, you can't just expect the project to go. And don't get me wrong, some projects just go out the water because it's good music.
Yeah,
and just go out the water. But if you really want to work something, like you gotta know your own stuff too. You gotta know, where'd I get this beat from? Who is this beat? Who produced this beat? Do I know him? Do I have a relationship with this producer, or am I just using his beat? Let me reach out to him. Yo, appreciate it, bro. You gotta
because that's that authenticity.
You gotta do that type stuff.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't understand why a producer made that beat and where his mind was,
and how it even got to you, how they get in your hands.
Exactly. If you're not understanding that vibe, you can't accelerate on it.
Yeah.
You can't build on top of it because you don't know where it began. And the third most important person is your promotion, specifically your radio promotion. That is your number 1 fan. If he don't believe in your record and you don't know what feedback you're getting from that record, your record's going nowhere on the label side.
Wow.
For real. That's so real. Now, the rest of the departments, as far as social media, you should know them because those are the ones that accentuate them. But I tell artists all the time, right? I always equate everything to street level, right? So if you in the hood and you need to get that computer, right? And you got X amount of dollars, you know who to go to get it. If you in the hood and you want that icky sticky iggy, you know who to go to. Right? Well, it's the same thing in the record label.
No. I'm telling you, it really is,
Please
bro.
know
really
that.
is.
Please believe that.
You gotta know the proof. Like if you going to LA and you're an artist and you got your cameraman, your manager, like when you step foot in that city, who you calling?
Right.
Like who you really calling?
Like if you in New York City and you don't call YNS.
And I'm just thinking I'm in LA and the world's moving around me. This is LA. Like this is where Kim K lives.
Right.
All the big stars. So you gotta find your way in the circle. You can't just think people gonna be moving around. Like who you calling? What's going on tonight? Like where can you be? Where you feel what I'm saying? And that's the type of stuff that you gotta start getting involved.
I always used to tell artists.
Networking, that shit matter.
Yeah, but it's more than networking because if your network is directly equated to your net worth. So you can network with a whole bunch of bottom feeders and get nowhere.
Yep.
And you know everybody on the bottom, but that ain't getting you nowhere.
Right.
You
Okay?
gotta know people.
So you got to know how to stick and move like any other navigation in the street. It's the same thing. I used to tell kids all the time when we was building our teams, if you know how to flip bricks, you know how to flip records. I'm sorry, I just got to keep that so funky. If you know how to get what you need,
flip t-shirts.
Right? Listen, the game is real. Like we reinvented it. Yeah,
it's a different way of talking. So
exactly.
Like, the plug you might be able to pull up on him with a blunt in your mouth and say, "Yo, what it do?" But the other person that owns this business, you got to kind of come in with a smile on your hand, and that's the part that that where people got to get a manager, and that's
time and place.
So I'm saying now you got to put your belief into the manager, and it's like if this manager ain't on your side, now he negotiating deals. Getting a cut and he don't even tell you but you think you need a manager when you could be doing all that shit yourself.
Exactly.
You feel me? And it's like
but
learning that
I think
shit.
hold up though.
Want
I gotta
people
say
to
one
handle
thing
their
though.
careers for them.
Yeah, but I gotta say this one thing though. For real. Artists, please get a team. Because an artist is always the person that needs to be liked. And if you don't have a go-to man that can step in between, that you can hurt your career.
Can vouch and say he's
and
good,
also can be the janitor while he's being the architect and clean up the mess.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because people are gonna double dip promoters, janky promoters are all day long. You know what I mean? And so you got to be able to have that middleman, that right hand man, that that gorilla from Manila. You know, you need all of that.
And the thing is, it's not hard. It's not easy to find. Like it's not easy to find somebody that know, because like you said, the music industry is a lot of blurred line. They don't know what to do. Like a manager be like, it's just my man, it's my man. But like really a manager's supposed to find opportunities for you to get your name out there, interviews, podcasts, parties, whatever. Like they supposed to find opportunities for you to put your face out there. So if they're not doing that, like they not really your manager, and that's okay. But like some people have day-to-day manager where they just there to follow them around and make sure they travel. But it's like you gotta just figure out who's doing what,
right?
Because you can't just be somebody's just hanging around, and you can have them people, but it's like
you know how you can find the best bag, right? Wow. You start with somebody and then nah, that ain't the good stuff. You need to go to my man. Nah, my man, that Gears my man is the one that really has it, right? You keep on going through that. Well, it's the same thing with artists, with managers. You got to do the homework. You start with an artist that you like and find out who manages him.
Yeah, but what if
you
these
start
artists...
seeing? No, but the information is out there. This is information age. Right. All you have to do is who manages Drake, who manages Game, who manages 50, who manages, and you'll start seeing the same names.
You gotta become your own manager first.
Yeah, first. Exactly. But you do need a manager, and then the other manager is your road manager.
See, I feel like you need a manager when you need something to manage. Like I feel like people think, just because I'm making music, I need a manager. When like you're not even bringing no money, you're not getting no looks, so it's like you don't really need a manager.
I think artists nowadays want managers because they want like a manager to like artists develop them.
Right.
I think nowadays these artists they want managers to pay for their studio time.
But that's not a manager's job.
That's what artists is looking at it as.
But that's
nowadays.
not a man. See. Okay, that's an investor.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's like the label.
That's an
label.
investor.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's just like the label. Okay, and this is where the lines get blurred.
Yeah, they get blurred.
And these artists don't understand it. And then when you try to give them, you try to school them on the game, they look at you like you're crazy. I'm like, all right, bro, next. Because you don't get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to come to this business,
Like a business.
with business acumen,
Business.
with business knowledge. This is a business.
Bro.
You are a product.
Literally.
You are a commodity
Right.
to be bought.
You are your
and
brand.
sold.
You are your brand.
Yeah.
Real talk, to be bought and sold. And if you can't accept that, then just let it be your hobby.
But it got to be a business. It got to be a business mindset, business
Facts.
attitude. Everything somebody in your camp got to have a business. Because if it ain't you, somebody in your camp got to have some type of
Back to
negotiating
what y'all said about
skills.
having a team.
They got to have something. Like, it can't just be everything's a yes. Do every show. You do every
Well,
interview.
I want to go into some more music, and then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to talk about the network.
UBC TV,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
One last thing, right? The whole thing is understand where you want to be.
Right.
Because not everybody wants to be a platinum artist.
Right.
That's
Some
what I'm
people
saying,
just want to
yeah.
make more.
Make
So
money,
know
yeah.
your end game and then work backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to come back with more. This is Stella Steph Show, Groundhog TV, S.STREET Media, Ameliaismore, bemorekev, and we'll be back. All right?
Y'all hearing it? We giving you the 411.
Bomb is dangerous. I knock you out if you play with us. When I say us, I'm meaning me. I don't take kindly to fuckery. Don't play with my kids or my money. Fuck fake friends, I'm family. And everybody out there ever doubted me. Don't be trying to come around deriding me. The shit that I be spitting is prophecy. R.I.P. Notorious B.I.G. I'm paying homage so you can't discredit me. The floor's down lit, so just watch me. The bitch is looking so I know she want to be. Cause over here's where she really want to be. And you was corny niggas gonna be. And your flow's really pretty shitty compared to me. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. Hands high. 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 Get 'em up. Get 'em up. What y'all talking about? I don't understand the words out your mouth. When you from New York or the dirty South, no matter where you ass from, I'm clean the house. Shit gon' change, that's without a doubt. Y'all niggas is bugging, mumbling, bumbling, sounding dumb on the mic like you don't know what you're doing. Failure's not an option, I don't pretend. I'm a champion, so I just win. Out here counting these Franklins and Hamiltons and Jacksons. Can't forget grants too, do what you do. Sticking to the money, just call me glue. Crazy how the table turn, all come true. Look at the top, I'm looking down on you. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. Hands high, 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 get 'em up, get 'em up.
Wrong is that we gon' come let 100 roll.
Yeah, this shit. My let that bitch talk to him. I'm the Reaper, nigga. Bitch. Yeah. Yeah. You the Reaper. Ma. I'm here, Jill. Why the fuck is they keep trying to play with a reaper? Stay on my 10 niggas know that I keep can't shoot it out in this function, we beat 'em. I put that coke in the pan like I'm Peter. Drake shots, lead spots on them like a cheater. Never spent whole days in school, I was leaving. I never sat on my ass, I was thieving. Still help all of my niggas, I got 'em. Don't stop spinning the ops till you whack 'em. Can't get a whip, so you gotta go jack. Bruh blinked out, now he locked in a jack. Now niggas hopping no dick, cause I got it. I ain't gon' lie about that hit, yeah, I shot 'em. They want me dead, I be scared of my shadow. Peas in the Glock or it's even some hollows. You know them 4-5 bullets like egg rolls. 1 to his top, made him cut off his cornrows. Corona clear up, I won't let her op do a show. Go against that, we gon' come let 100 roll. Yeah, I got hot, but I'm not showing mercy. If I was loafing, then why you ain't murder me? I'm the one burnt your man ass to a 3rd degree. Not talking wrestling, put him in a pedigree. Spin with no mask, gon' pray they don't tell on me. Remember me asking my OG is murder a felony. And if I crash out with the ops, get ahead of me. That nigga said never. Screaming out, fuck it, we blowing whoever. I got my city on lock, so who better? Think it's a joke, get his bitch ass together. Stay by myself, yeah, before I get wrecked. Niggas used to just talk, I ain't learned my lesson. GG on my pendant, bitch loving my neck. She don't know I got one on the way with spaghetti. Rock stirred up in my shit like spaghetti. That nigga fake brought his bitch to to the telly. Wonder if he know what she do off the ecstasy. Smoke on my dick like she choking. Inhaling me. Don't know a lot, but I ran up some bands. Cut off the bitch, got on top of my plane. I'm way out LA with my chauffeur, no plane. I made Biggie chops, come and serve him some grass. Giz Wop, he like my twin, I put him on your ass. When we ain't had shit, better nigga got smashed. Can't find the papers, we spin with no tag. Come through and start a tornado like Taz. Getting that cash gon' bring you some ass. Get down to my last, go buy me a mask. He out of bounds, he know that he playin'. Don't care what it costs, just blow up my man. That muzzle will flash on his ass like a camera. That pussy was pressing that button, he panicked. Bitch, I'm a demon, feeling satanic. Kidnap him, beat this shit in with a hammer. Spin with that short ass AP, geeked up. 2 Drakes, Giz and SD, stay tweaked up. Blow up a block and then go beat a beat up. Luxury renew to make the bitch eat up. If she knew what I do, then my shit'll be bleached up. Shoot out the car, hop out, try get up. 10 milli hit him, he stuck, can't get up. 2 in his gut, all blood, but he threw up. If he would've listened, he wouldn't have got blew up. Kept on sliding until I got 2 up. You catch a body, then blow up the truck. Shit had a switch, couldn't nobody duck. They try to play with me, that's why I up. Too deep in the streets to be beefing with suckers. He like a bump, fuck with him and bust. Cover money, but I'm still out here hustling. I took an L, so I taxed it and doubled it. No double date, I'm with 2 and I'm fucking. Passing them bags of gas like Russ. We on the corner trapping like the ugly. I snaked him out and he know he shouldn't trust him. Yeah, I got him smashed, he had plans on crushing. Got his bitch in the truck in the back and I'm humping. Yeah, up, I should call him and tell him I fucked it. Bitch ass nigga. Yeah, wop, wop, mob, 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 bitch.
If you're part of a hybrid team, you need to try Lucid. It's a visual collaboration suite, and it helps you quickly